Hey folks, my guest today is Manuel Hartman. He's the founder and CEO of Sales Playbook, building Europe's number one sales acceleration platform for B2B startups. They've got 170 startups using the technology today, combining knowledge, coaching, offers, and talents. They bootstrapped to the first $1 million in revenue in under 3 years and help customers go from 0 to 2 million in booked ARR in under 15 months and more. Manuel, are you ready to take us to the top?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having
So
me.
just so just to be clear, if my audience falls in love with you and they're a European-based SaaS startup, they might hire you to help them scale, sort of like an outsourced SDR firm. Is that right?
We're not outsourcing SDRs or so. We're not in done for your business, but really a sales coaching platform. Can think Coach Hub, but really specific for B2B startup sales in SaaS.
Okay, so they can't, you won't help them hire a rep, but you could coach their current reps.
We can help them hire the rep. We can help them write the right sales position contract, put them in touch with top recruiters in Europe, help them attract the right talent by being very specific. As for a lot of startups, that's not the case. They just say like, I need more bodies like to work in sales, right?
Interesting. Okay, now when you came on a year ago, well, almost a year. Oh yeah, it was about a year ago. You had about 30 customers paying $500 a month. Where are you today?
We're probably at around 50 active customers, or customer lifetime was back then around 3 to 4 months. We're just signing our first 12 months agreement. So customer lifetime for some customers is increasing drastically. Still not at the 2 to 7 years you want as a SaaS company, but we're getting there. And
And how much
also,
are those customers still paying about $500 a month?
no, they're typically paying like they're paying semi-annually or annually, like investing 10 to 20K. So pretty much like 800 to 1,800 bucks a month.
So how much revenue do you think you do in 2021?
Probably around 700K.
700K. Got it. So you have done now to date, well, you've broken that $1 million mark in total sales, which is a big metric. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. How do you, this is going to sound like a horrible question. I do not enjoy consulting. I have no patience for it. I'm like, I've moved to SaaS as fast as possible. So like, are you going to move to SaaS or do you enjoy this consulting thing?
We tackle this question a lot internally, right? How much do we want to do with the core team? The core team scaled from 2 to 8 people, but we invested 150K plus into the coaching platform. So what is scalable knowledge, basically standalone knowledge, like information product, and building a coaching platform. So we're still going to do customer success. We're still going to do like the check-ins and the guidance, but there we also implement the concept of a lead coach, which is not basically employed by us, but a customer comes in and say, I really want to work specifically on the sales hiring. And then there's like a recruiter, for example, which takes them on his journey. And it's not, the coaching is not done by us apart from the group coaching.
Okay, got it. And so when you look at some of the companies that have been most successful going through your program, you mentioned WowFlow about a year ago, but who's killing it right now?
Killing it right now is, for example, Bootstrapped. They went 0 to 2 million in booked ARR, annual recurring revenue, in 50 months. So they started literally at zero CRM
Who is
selection.
that? Sorry.
Boost Bar,
Boost Bar.
Boostbar, exactly. So they just went into like validating market segments and like finding their ICP really quickly for the first 6 months. Didn't really sell like a customer because just like longer sales cycles. But once they hit it, they really hit it off and went to 100 point of sales really quickly. Another customer
Yeah, go
who
ahead. Keep
killed
going.
was Class Times, a similar stage as WowFlow back then, and they always had like 1K, 5K tickets, and now they just closed their second six-figure deal with like a big institution which could grow to like higher six figures pretty quickly.
People, especially my listeners, will be very skeptic of like consultants I have on this show. So
Right.
like, why are you qualified to teach this? What's sort of your background here?
My background is like first sales rep as an AI SaaS company myself, where I was really like good doing a lot of trial and errors. I was talking to a lot of other SaaS salespeople, CEOs, like, hey, where do you learn this? And they were like pretty much by trial and error. But some people go through successful SaaS startups, right? Like that scale with them, like from 100K to a million to 10. And we just get the best SaaS sales leaders to become coaches part-time, like can be anywhere like 2 to 4 hours, like a week or even a month, and get them to make them accessible to people who they would otherwise not be.
How many folks are on your team now today?
8.
8 people. Okay, very cool. Now, have you stayed bootstrapped or did you raise capital?
No, bootstrapped, 100%.
We love bootstrap. That's great. Any plans to raise or no?
No. I've had some discussion like, hey, do you want to build a 100 million company? I was like, so far 100% bootstrapped.
And how do you personally think about how old are you? I think we're probably around the same age, right?
Yeah, 33 at Christmas for me.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Okay. So I'm 32. So how do you think about building your personal net worth here so you can take bigger risks, maybe do some angel investing or other stuff? I mean, do you take distributions out of the company or how do you manage that?
I don't take distributions out of the company, so my salary has remained the same for the last 7 years, pretty much like 90K. I want to leave it in a company so we can build a 10 million ARR company in the next 4 years. What we all really interesting in these segments, like all the mastermind coaches, is we all in similar phase of building a company from 6 to 7 figures, then 8 figures in the next 3 4 5 years, and then really have like this sales playbook mafia and just work like a Navy SEAL team on market traction. And it might be that we found like a little like an angel investor club, like sales tech ventures, or however we do it, or we become pretty operational as a SWAT team that you bring in if you need results really quickly. We'll figure that out.
Mm-hmm. And so you've paid yourself $90,000 a month for the past 9 years. Is that what you said?
A year, not a month.
Oh, sorry, $90,000 a year for the past 9 years. Interesting. Okay, got
pretty
it.
much. I was employed before Sales Playbook, right? So I didn't determine my own salary before.
Yep. Okay, interesting. This makes a lot of sense. So you, again, got going in 2019, I believe, right? That was the start?
Right.
And what was the company that you were at? You mentioned you were at an AI startup?
Yeah, so ONEDOT.
Interesting. Okay, and for people listening right now, maybe they they don't want to spend more time on this outside of this interview. Give me like the top 3 like do's and don'ts of scaling to the first 5 members of your sales team, your outbound sales team.
I think that the first do is make really clear you have a halfway repeatable process, right? Like founder does it first. So you need to validate, you need to sell the first 5, 10, 20 customers, depending on ticket size yourself. Number 2, hire for attitude. So really like get people who are hungry, hands-on, intelligent, curious, rather than work at Salesforce, HubSpot, Pipedrive, MongoDB, whatever. And the third one is invest enough into ramping them, into mock-up calls, into like case studies, taking them on sales calls early on, coaching them, right? Which is like, especially remote, can slip pretty quickly. On the 3 don'ts, I think is hire too early, hire before you sign your first customer. And you need to validate that product, that message market fit first, right? Before you can validate the person sales fit, so to say. The second thing was just like hire people who want to have a really high base pay, like that's pretty much like total comp is like, oh, I need 10K base. Like, why are you not confident? And the third one would be really people that do it for the wrong reasons, that are not customer centric enough, and that are not interested in helping you like build a company, that just want to make a commission check, because these will be frustrated and leave pretty soon for big tech.
Now, are you competing with these firms like Uvaro, or do they go through your platform? They just raised a 12 million Series A.
Yeah, I actually had Joseph Fung, the founder and CEO of Uvaro, on our podcast just 2 weeks ago. Fantastic guy. So they focusing more on like sales people who want to build a career in sales, like cross from a truck driver, barkeeper, and so on, which is great. We need more in the workforce that's helping us. And secondly, like we've established firms like Vidyard ramping up their SDRs. I think with the second one, we would compete to a certain degree, but we're actually just jumping on a partner call next Wednesday to see, because they're really strong in North America. We're really strong in Europe. So the geography is like making non-competitive.
Yep. Very interesting. Hot space. Now, Manuel, if people want to learn more about you guys, where can they find you online?
You can find me online on LinkedIn, Manuel Hartmann, or thesalesplaybook.io.
Very cool. And famous 5. Let's wrap up here. Number 1, favorite business book?
Speed of Trust.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Various in the SaaS space, like regarding the podcast, Dan Martell, Jerry Meyer, exited Bexio for plus minus 100 million in Switzerland. You can imagine it like an accounting software, like I don't know the name, like Xera is called in the US.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, great. Number 4, number 3, number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
Roughly 7.
And situation, married, single, kids?
Married, becoming dad on Christmas, pretty much.
Oh, wow. Congrats. So you're turning, you've got a birthday. How old are you?
33.
33.
On Christmas, myself.
So you have a birthday, 33, and a baby around Christmas.
Plan for 27th of December. Let's see how it goes.
Wow, that's exciting. Congratulations. Last thing here. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
Going into sales like full speed on much earlier. Like don't divert to consulting and something else.
Guys, his customers have gone from $0 to $2 million in run rate in under 15 months. He's running the salesplaybook.io. He launched it back in 2019 after running sales at an early artificial intelligence B2B SaaS startup. It was doing $30,000 a month about a year ago, about 360 grand total in sales last year. He's going to break 700,000 this year. Nice growth rate. Team of 8, totally bootstrapped. Manuel, thank you for taking us to the top.
Thanks so much.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.